Case 3521, Macbeth v. Scotland. Please be seated. Representing the defendant, Mr. Cantor.
Boo.
Representing the state, Mr. Sherman. Order! Defense, you're up first. You may question your client. Begin.
Ladies, gentlemen, nobles, and kingsmen, you are all gathered here to view upon the case of the century. My client, Mr. Macbeth, has been falsely accused of 7 counts of murder.
Aye.
Though there is evidence of 4 cases, the state's lack of judgment and misleading information to the public shall be noted.
Objection! There's evidence for all 7 cases against Macbeth.
You foul hag! Overruled.
As I was saying, my client has done wrong, and punishment is not going to be avoided, but the extent and the severity of the punishment must be reduced. Life imprisonment is too hard of a punishment, and plus, my client is showing signs of remorse.
Objection. Judge, please show us how he's showing remorse.
Well, aside from the physical remorse he shows daily, he drinks himself to death. So Macbeth committed these crimes because of Kate and the witches. The witches started Macbeth's descent into darkness by filling his head with dreams and promises of royalty. Because they're supernatural creatures, they can see into the future, and that's why their plan worked.
Those rotten whores. 5-minute recess, and we will return to Mr. Sherman, prosecutioner, representing Scotland. Court is resumed, and now to Mr. Sherman.
Ladies, gentlemen, everyone who has come to gather here today in the case against Macbeth. As you have heard from my opponents, they're claiming the defendant, Mr. Macbeth, is guilty not because of himself or his actions, but because of the actions of witches. I know, it's crazy. Anyways, they're claiming that the witches has forced him to do this. But, Mr. Defendant, what part of the witch's speech to him told him to physically kill another human being?
Because of Macbeth's ambitious sides and characteristics, they knew, because of their power to see in the future, that Macbeth would act upon these dreams and promises of royalty.
I see. Let me rephrase that. Did they ever specifically say kill another human being to gain this power?
Again, I repeat what I have just said. They knew
They
that
may have
Macbeth
knew it.
would have
Did
done.
they say it?
That doesn't matter, because if they knew, they implied it.
Ah, I see. They implied it. That's good enough. Please be seated, sir.
I'll do as I wish.
Very rude. What are you doing here, sir, Mr. Macbeth?
Banquo!
Pardon?
Banquo!
What's happening?
Banquo!
Help, Judge!
Banquo!
Stop, 5 minutes
Banquo
recess,
surrounds
please.
us.
Please stop.
He surrounds us and is
He does not surround us.
Banquo!
Stop.
Saying, after that performance by Mr. Macbeth, I'm thrown off. I'm not sure he's quite stable. Mr. Cantor, is there anything that you would like to add or maybe blame this on?
Before I blame this on somebody, as Mr. Sherman said, the reason Macbeth has been acting like this is only because this is part of what the witches have done to Macbeth. They filled his head, and now he's in a dark, dark place, and he needs some help, seriously. But one of the major contributors to Macbeth's descent is Lady Macbeth.
Hag, foul beast. She tricked me with sorcery, and her mind, she filled it with...
As your
bad
defendant,
things.
I recommend you not to say these things in court.
Aye.
Get off.
We resume. Lady Macbeth is taking a stand. Mr. Sherman, you are allowed to speak.
Thank you, Judge. So, Lady Macbeth, you said you think that he deserves death, correct?
Yes,
And why is that?
because he has killed them.
And this killing was done by him. You may have said things to him, but he killed these people, correct?
Yes.
Objection! The prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled.
Thank you, Mr. Judge. As I was saying, so do you have any proof or evidence that you would like to share with the public about Macbeth killing Macduff's family? The prosecution is done questioning Lady Macbeth.
For my final questions against Lady Macbeth, which I may ask,
You may.
why do you think you deserve absolutely no punishment in regards to all of this madness and chaos?
Because I didn't do any of the killings. It was all Macbeth.
Well, a witness overheard that you actually helped frame the guards of the killing of Duncan to make sure that you and Macbeth would be safe and nobody would be the wiser.
I did do that, but he still did the killings, and I did not take any part of that.
But you did take part in the framing of the guards. What do you think you deserve for that? Since you're clearly unable to decide, we should ask the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what do you think Lady Macbeth's punishment should be?
We will have a 5-minute recess. When we resume, we will hear the final statements from both representatives.
For my final statement, I would just like to say that there is an overwhelming amount of evidence which points that the witches helped Macbeth, and Lady Macbeth was a huge contributor in the killing of Duncan. Therefore, she should be punished more than she is now. Macbeth, please refrain from doing that. Macbeth, excuse me.
Banquo. Lady Macbeth. Duncan. I killed Duncan. I framed the guards. Lady Macbeth took part of everything. It was all Troy. They're all against me. Everybody was against me. I killed everybody. I killed Duncan.
Ladies and gentlemen, jury, judge, as I believe my opponent had stated, there's overwhelming evidence. I do not believe that is against anyone else besides from Macbeth. As you just heard, he committed all of these crimes that are accused of him. He killed everyone, maybe not by himself, but had others do it. Especially in the case of Duncan, where he physically killed someone. He physically killed him and tried to save him and Lady Macbeth.
He's my husband, and I love him! Ah!
After all I've seen the past few hours, Macbeth is proven guilty and sentenced to death. Lady Macbeth will be sentenced to 25 years in prison for the crimes that she has committed. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Oi! Snyder. Menfiera.
Ordered him to kill Duncan.
Aye, it is.
Is it not true that Macbeth did not want to and was having second thoughts about killing Duncan?
You never killed Duncan.
He was telling him to kill Duncan.
Did not show up.
See, the problem with this
Objection
is that...
was overruled. Sit down. Thank you.
Objection! I would like to turn...
Overruled!
Objection! I want to speak...
Grow up.